Hello, this is All Trips with a quick road trip itinerary idea for visiting Mount Rushmore, the Black Hills of South Dakota region, as well as traveling over to Yellowstone in Wyoming and Montana and Idaho, and then coming back down to Denver. Um, I recommend going to the Black Hills region first because it's a shorter drive to get there. I mapped going from Denver to Custer, so you can anticipate 5 to 6 hours on that trip. I would recommend possibly getting off the interstate in Cheyenne and taking more of the scenic back roads or highway roads to get up to the Custer region or perhaps Hill City or even Keystone. Keystone is probably the closest area to where Mount Rushmore is. In this area here, you've got Crazy Horse Monument as well, another huge rock sculpture. And then Hill City is a nice town for shopping, things along those lines, good restaurants. Up north in the northern region, Lead and Deadwood's primarily a popular mining and casino town. This drive up through Route 14 goes through Spearfish Canyon. I imagine you're going to see some amazing fall foliage in this time of year. It is coming up on October. And then Spearfish has good campground that's right in the town. And then at that point, you would be potentially heading from this Black Hills region across to the Yellowstone region. All right, so let's take a look at some of that. Like I mentioned, going up from the Custer area, touring around here, ending up in Spearfish. And then from Spearfish, depending, or really the Black Hills area, along the way, a short distance outside of the Black Hills area is Devil's Tower in Wyoming. And there's a couple of routes that you can take to get up there. But this is a pretty neat structure if you are looking for a midway spot along the trip. Here's an idea of what it looks like. Boom, it is basically the interior of a volcano, many, many millions of years old. This is now considered a Native American sacred spot, as well as a climbing destination, and obviously just a tourism attraction because it is quite a spectacle when you're in the middle of kind of that flatland. So an interesting stop. There is a campground right there at the base, and could be considered a nice stopping area. But if not, you can obviously continue on towards Yellowstone. You can take Interstate 70 to get across, or excuse me, 90 to cut across more quickly. If you did go up to the Devil's Tower, you could come right back down, catch 90, and then primarily you would come through here through Ten Sleep, and then up and over. This Ten Sleep Canyon here is a really, really pretty area. Another canyon similar, it's very similar to the Spearfish Canyon I pointed out over here. And it is, again, probably a good fall foliage viewing location. And then, so what I put as a destination within Yellowstone is called Fishing Bridge. Kind of gets you to the central part of the park where you can deviate off to do quite a number of things. One of the routes that they're suggesting here is actually to go up north to Sheridan, but like I was saying before, you could venture south. Uh-oh. And go that route. Um, but this gives you an idea of the time. So you're looking at a pretty significant drive across flatland Wyoming. There is good camping in this area as well as in the Bighorn National Forest up in the northern route. Cody is a gateway community. There's really camping all along these routes, so you can always kind of plan your trip accordingly if you don't want to do a big day behind the windshield. Coming into Fishing Bridge, then you have access to head up north to Tower Junction. This is where the Boiling River is. I outlined that in the email. This whole region is really good for wildlife viewing, and really anywhere in the park is. And then over here in that region, you have both Old Faithful as well as the Grand Prismatic hot spring that I showed you. And then for the return trip home, you can come out through the southern entrance of Yellowstone. You'll get a great view of Jackson Lake. Come into Moran. There's camping all in this area as well. And then this region right here is the Grand Teton National Park. So you'll be having views of the Tetons, which are just, truly spectacular. Let's see if we got something good here. These are the Tetons in winter right here. Things like that. Unfortunately, there's not a really dramatic view of the Tetons in this photo gallery here. But they are spectacular, and there is good wildlife viewing in the region. So, and then from there, when you're in the Jackson Hole region and Grand Teton National Park area, really you've got two routes for returning home. Or back to Denver, I should say. One route is to go up north to Moran, come out through Du Bois, and down to Cheyenne and back down to Boulder, or excuse me, Denver. Another route is to go, not that way. Go down to Rock Springs. So you'll head south through what's called the Hoback Junction, Hoback Canyon here, to Bondurant, down through Pinedale, Wyoming. On this side over here, you've got the Wind River Mountain Range, one of the most largest, it is actually the largest mountain range within the Rocky Mountain region. And then you'd head down to Rock Springs and come out over I-80 and then back down. And this drive, you're looking at around 8 hours or so, 8 to 9, leaving that region. All right, if you have any questions, please reach out. We'd love to help. And if you have any additions or things that I messed up, please let me know that as well. Thank you so much.